I remember hearing my bracket and heading to staging. And as I stood there, I tried to get myself focused and in the mode. And so I grabbed my headphones and put them in my ears and put on my wrestling prep playlist. And as soon as they assigned me to my mat, I jogged down, texted my coach what mat I'm at, told my sister, my family, and whatever. And I remember standing there, and I was very aware of my surroundings, and my old coach was next to me, and my newer coach was next to me, and I just tried to stay focused. I think I was listening to Power by Kanye West, and I was just jumping around, breathing, trying to get my mind right, stretching, getting my body warm. And then I remember the match ending that was ahead of me, and I was on deck. So I pulled my sweats down, took my shirt and hoodie off, pulled my singlet straps up, and went to the table and said, "Simone, I'm here because you have to check in." And they said, "Okay, you're red." And so I was like, cool. Ran to the center, put on my anklet, and started breathing. And I kind of started psyching myself out because I was like, this is it. This is the last. And so I jumped around a little bit, waited for my opponent, got to the center of the mat, shook her hand. And I remember her because I wrestled her 2 years ago at Pittsburgh High School for the Queen of the Mat tournament. And I remember pinning her in the first period. So I didn't get too overly confident because you should never overestimate anyone in wrestling because things can always change. But I did feel a little sense of confidence because of that. So I thought, oh, no biggie, I've been through this before, I can go through this again. We shook hands, and I kind of flaked, and next thing you know, I was caught in a really, really bad and uncomfortable position that I had been caught in before, and it's something that I'm very weak at defending. So I thought, oh, no, not this move again. And next thing you know, all I heard was the ref's hand hitting the mat, and the match was over. And I felt nothing, and I felt everything at once. I remember tearing my anklet off, going to shake the other coach's hands, going to shake my coach's hands. I grabbed my stuff, and I just went straight to the locker room. I threw my stuff down, and I just sat on the floor and cried. I cried for about 20 to 30 minutes, and I just didn't want to talk to anyone because I knew that was the last time that I would ever put on that San Leandro singlet and wrestle. And I've been on the mat for 7 years repping San Leandro, so it was kind of a hard moment for me to just take that all in and take it in like, wow, this was my last match for high school. It's over, like my wrestling career is over. But turns out that I recently talked to the head coach at Menlo College Wrestling, and their women's program is ranked 5th in the nation. And I got off the phone with him, and he said there's a big chance that he would accept me as a walk-on because of my heart and my passion and my qualifications. And I remember hanging up the phone with him, and I thought back to this moment of my last match and me being in the locker room and sitting on the floor and crying, thinking it's over, that was my last. And so I started crying again after I got off the phone. But this time it wasn't from sadness, but it was from happiness because it wasn't over. And instead, it was the beginning of something new and something greater than I had ever thought. You know, if I looked back, if you asked 6th grade Simone at the end of her wrestling season where she'd be in college and if she'd be wrestling, I'd have no idea that I'd be here now.